again to do another video for the HORRORman's channel. This week's theme is sequels. So I chose the film Cult of Chucky from 2017, which stars Brad Dourif as Chucky and Fiona Dourif as Nika Pierce. Alex Vincent returns as Andy Barclay, and it also has Jennifer Tilly as Tiffany. I just want to say, this is not my favorite out of the series. I would say maybe Child's Play and Child's Play 2 would probably be like number ones up there, you know, those are good. And then you get kind of weird with Seed of Chucky. That one was a little bit out there. And this movie is just nuts and crazy, but I still did enjoy parts of it. I mean, I really like the humor of it. It's very funny. I enjoyed all the mental patients and their craziness because they're just like crazy. So this takes place after Curse of Chucky. It just moves right along with the story. So it probably would have been better had I went and watched Curse of Chucky so I could remember what the hell was going on, because I was lost pretty much throughout this movie. But basically, Nika is in this mental hospital and she believes that she killed her whole family at the beginning, and then she's starting to realize, well, maybe what the doctors are telling her is not true, and Chucky really did it. Chucky is not imaginary. But so this whole mental hospital angle of it kind of reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, because, you know, they're kind of like in a hospital and nobody's believing them that, oh, Freddy, you know, is out to get him. People don't believe this. And same instance in this hospital. Everybody's like, Chucky did it. Well, nobody believes them. They don't think Chucky is real. I mean, they even go to points of trying to prove the doll is just a doll by setting its fingers on fire and melting it down, and it looks all burnt and nothing happens. They're like, the doll is just a doll. This has several funny, crazy people. There's Malcolm, who I think they call Multiple Malcolm, and he's always like being other people. Like, for instance, he thinks he's Mark Zuckerberg, and another time he thinks he's Michael Phelps, and then he even thinks he's Charles Lee Ray at one point. So that is kind of funny and crazy. Okay, so there was a woman who thinks she's like a ghost, and she's always asking people, can you see me? And they'll be like, yeah. She's like, don't be scared, but I'm a ghost. I died here like 30 something years ago or something. It has this whole story for it, and it's just, I don't know, I just think it's so funny when she's doing that. And then we have some pretty crazy kills in this movie. I think the kills were pretty good. Well, Malcolm, he gets kind of drilled through the back of the head and out the eyeball, which is kind of gross and crazy and, yeah, funny. And then we have Nurse Carlos. Yeah, I think that's his name. He gets like drilled and stabbed. It was very brutal and violent looking. Lots of blood everywhere. And then there's also Claire. She's another patient. I don't really know what her deal was, other than she does like to, I guess, harm herself, and like Chucky like bites her and they think she did it to herself because they don't believe the doll is alive or anything. And so she gets all strapped down, and Chucky makes this canister go up, and it's got like a skylight so you can see out and it rains down glass, big chunks of it. It like totally whacks her whole head off. Head goes rolling. I mean, it was brutal. I was like, and at the same time, with the snow falling in and everything, it ended up being kind of pretty too. So it was a very pretty scene, but actually a nasty scene at the same time. It's all in there together, but I liked it. And then we have Madeline, who, she's nuts. I don't know if she killed her child and just went nuts, or I don't know if she was already nuts and killed her child, but I believe she killed her baby. And so when they bring in the Chucky doll, she says, "That's my baby." So she starts carrying her around like it's her baby. And I'm thinking, oh Lord, that's Chucky. Chucky gonna get her. And then eventually, I mean, she's even breastfeeding this doll and everything, which, you know, it's Chucky, so he's actually sucking on it. So that's kind of weird and creepy. And he reaches down her throat and rips out, and then makes it look like she did it to herself by ripping off his arm and shoving it down her throat. So they just think she committed suicide. Yeah, it's very strange stuff that goes on in this movie. But overall, I did like it. I mean, it does have like a low budget look to it, and the story is kind of all over the place, interesting, but then at the same time I'm confused, and it may be because I didn't watch the movie before watching this and doing this review. That might have helped on my confusion, because I'm not for sure if Jennifer Tilly, whose character is Tiffany, is now embodied the actress Jennifer Tilly, possibly. I may be wrong. And then there was way too many Chuckies. And Chucky looked weird to me. Most of the Chuckies look weird. I think they did maybe more, I don't know which way they went with it. More CGI to the animatronic. I don't know. But Chucky looks weird, but also good at the same time in a weird way, but still looks weird. And the best looking Chucky for me was the one that was just a head and half of its head was blown off. So that was the best looking Chucky, and you don't see that Chucky throughout the whole movie because it's locked away. But I mean, and it was cool that Andy's character was back. I think that's cool. And then there's an after credits scene that has another character from part 2 that returns. So that's cool. This movie just ends the craziest way, and I'm thinking, y'all can't end it like this. Y'all have to make another movie because this is freaking nuts, and there's too many Chuckies, and I don't understand. It's just all crazy. And I'm just going, who is the real Chucky here? I mean, you got 3 or 4 Chuckies. Who is the real Chucky? And then Nika's character, who, by the way, Fiona, which is Brad Dourif's daughter, in my opinion, was one of the best things about this film. I mean, okay, she's kind of like the spitting image of her dad. I mean, you can really see her dad in her. And I just loved her descent into madness. I mean, she's like going nuts and crazy over this whole thing, trying to figure it out. And then at the end of it, it's kind of like she's defeated, but at the same time freed, because she's able to get up and walk, even though Charles Lee Ray is now embodied her body and she has his attitude and everything, which to me was kind of cool. I liked that, her being Charles Lee Ray. That was kind of a fun character for her. I mean, I liked it. But you cannot end this way. I mean, y'all riding off her Tiffany Chucky doll thing, whoever that's supposed to be now, because apparently there can be multiples of them. I don't know. I'm just a little bit confused on this. You can't end it that way. There has to be another movie that goes after this one. But I'm afraid now that they've made a remake, that they won't go back and finish the rest of this series out. I mean, hopefully not. But, I mean, for it to have, I think, the same writer, and then have the same voice of Chucky, and then to have the original character from the first two movies come back, and then another character from part two, it just kind of, it was fun, and it tied it all together in a way, and I enjoyed that. So, to me, it would be nice if Andy and, who was the other person? Kyle? I don't know. Anyways, whoever the girl is, I can't remember. If they would just come back for the next movie and be like people trying to take out Chucky, I think that would be like super cool. But Chucky is not in. Yeah, I lost on this one. But if you haven't watched this, maybe you should. But watch Curse of Chucky first if you haven't watched that one. And this is also on Netflix right now, so you can check it out on Netflix. I'm not sure where else, because that's where I watched it on Netflix. I have the DVD somewhere, but I couldn't find it. But yeah, fun movie. So check it out. And check out the TheHORRORman's channel, and let's continue to do these reviews and have fun with this stuff. Alright guys, next time.